Okay, we are back and we're talking about high school and sometimes middle school. And I'm always fixing my hair because I look at it and I go, oh, something's wrong with my hair. Um, anyway, high school. Okay, so we're going to talk about all the things, and I'm hoping people show up because it's so much easier to talk when people ask questions. Ask questions. I have no points tonight. We're just going to go through what I know and what I think you need to know. And although this is not a local group, a lot of our people are local, and I will talk about Alabama because that's where I live. And whatever I talk about with Alabama, you can apply it to your state or either look at your state regulations. If you have a state, let me know so that I can pull it up. Hey Susan, I see you. Okay, so when I sit down and talk to mamas about high school, the first thing is, usually their mind looks like that, their eyes look like this because, and they don't. Because I think we make it scarier than what it needs to be. Now, that may be wrong. It may need to be scary, but let's not make it scary. Okay, so the first thing, what I do when I sit down with a parent, they either have an eighth grader or they're getting ready to go in ninth grade. The first thing I do is pull up what our state requires. Now, in Alabama, there are no subject requirements. There are no high school graduation requirements for homeschoolers. But that doesn't mean mama doesn't have a plan. Mama needs a plan, even for middle school, because you can sometimes do some of these credits in middle school so that you don't have to do them later. So we'll pull up that and I'll show you what Alabama requires. If you do not live in Alabama, you can throw the name of your state in here and we can pull them up. Some of y'all will probably get this later. I will show you how to find Alabama, and then you should be able to do the same thing for your state. If you are in confusion at all, you can jump on to my Teachable. I do consult now, and I will have a link for high school in there so that you can pull it. I have to set it up, but you will be able to pull it up and I can actually walk you through high school. I do this, so we'll go there. So anyway, let's start. We always start with a plan. Now we look at what Alabama requires. Now that doesn't mean you have to do what Alabama public school does. I don't do that. What I do is I hit the 4 core and I'll show you what they are, and then I tailor the electives to the child. And I'll show you that. I might even be able to pull up Cole's transcript and show you what Susan's transcript looks like. But Susan's is awesome. So anyway, okay, so let's share this screen. Let's see. Make sure I'm hitting the right one. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay, up. Well, I didn't pull it all the way up. Okay, so here is, let's see if I can make this better for y'all. I'll move me back out of the way. So here's what Alabama requires in public school right now. It probably looks different than what we had. When I went to high school, I only had to have 2 maths and 2 sciences. Now they have 4 of all the 4 cores. When we talk about the 4 cores, we're talking about English, math. Here's English. Let's look at that. So all they're calling it is English 9. This is grammar. This is writing papers. This is literature. It's all completed together. All of it's there. That's everything that has to do with language arts. With math, they start off at Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and then something else. Some of my children have started at pre-algebra, and I have put that on there, on their transcript. Some haven't. So it just kind of depends on your child. You have to remember that this is a guideline. It is not a rule. But I don't think it's a horrible rule. So that this is the thing, if they're going toward trade school or if they're going toward college, you need a plan. So anyway, so here, there's math. Here's science. They have biology and physical science, which is either chemistry or physics or physical science. There is 2, then they want 2 others. And we did biology, we did physical science, we did advanced biology because it dealt with the body, and I think you need to know how your body works. And chemistry. Chemistry was not a favorite. I'm going to try a new curriculum this time. Social studies, world history. Then there are 2 years of U.S. history. United government. We call it government. I don't know why we have that there. Economics. My kids have done all of those. I will probably not do this with Gabriella. We'll study U.S. history. We're just not going to do it in 2 years. Cole loved U.S. history. If your child loves U.S. history, they'll love this. But for Gabriella, I decided to try some other things because we watch documentaries all the time. Okay, so then we hit those electives. There's physical education, health as education, career preparedness, prep, career prep, career and technical education, which is basically, and foreign language, arts, all those kind of things. And then distance learning. Now they have distance learning on there. That's a new update. That's probably for this year. There are no credits there. I do not know what, there's a lot, I don't get that. We're not required to do that. I'm going to move back over to StreamYard, make sure there's no comments, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so when you're doing high school, you have a couple of choices, and I'll explain to you why I am. Let me go back. I don't really have to stay on this. Because you can't see my face. There's my face to adjust everything again. So, okay, when you do this now, that's 4 years, but you can move faster. You can move slower. You're kind of in the driver's seat in Alabama. You can kind of make a plan is good. Some of the things that we have used for, okay, so there's a 4 core. I'm talking about electives now. See, this is what happens when you don't have a plan. I'm all over the ballpark. They're looking at me. Let's see. Here's some things. Blue collar homeschool, which, y'all had the special needs workshop yesterday. Awesome for thinking outside the box electives. My son Cole did 2 years of AV at the church. He was, worked with the audio team and the soundboard, worked with the video team. And that's AV. He did 2 years of that. That's on his transcript. Let's see. Juliana has piano and guitar, and we call them music theory and music practicum. She's done both. 2 years. Gabriella, I think 1 year for science, we're going to do the Master Gardener program. She can go half a year. It's enough for a whole year. They didn't shut the door. Who's in the bathroom? Shut that door for me. They are not paying attention to what I'm doing. They are crazy. Hey, Jennifer, we're talking about high school. So you can get creative with your electives. That's what I like, stuff they're interested in. When you look at it, it's really 4 core, 2 electives every year, and then you're going to hit about 24 credits. Outside the box, we have done Duolingo, which Juliana did 4 years. She's got like over 1,000 hours of Duolingo in Russian, and that's just I don't know who Facebook user is, but hey, so that is another thing, thinking outside the box with electives. So we talked about the 4 core, and really this is what I said. I've had some moms who have they've had more special needs children. What you want to see is progression. Alabama, if you're not in Alabama, throw a name in a state in the thing, and we'll pull up stuff and look at it. In Alabama, we do not have high school graduation requirements, but that doesn't mean we don't have a plan. So I always say hit the 4 core, and you want progression, no matter, even if you're not hitting the same things, you just want progression. Then you can tailor the electives, usually 2 electives a year. My kids have done lifeguard training, has been one. Cole did AV, audio visual tech at the church. Let's see what else. Juliana does music. Gabriella does music. We've done Duolingo for Mississippi. I'll pull up Mississippi's while we're talking. You can still see me, but I'm moving to the other screen. At least I hope you can. Okay, let's pull up Mississippi. think I know how to spell it because my mom is a Mississippi girl. As graduation requirements, I'm going to pull it up and see what they've got. Okay, so I'm going to share this now. I think this is the right one. Now, Mississippi is a little similar, I believe, to Alabama. You don't have anything that is required. Double check me because I do not know for sure. But this is the public school things. And this is what they've got. If you'll see, they have different. Alabama used to have different diplomas too. I like this. I actually kind of like the way this looks. I mean, Alabama used to have several different. Now we only have one diploma, and it's pretty much the same that I can find. So they have career path. You know, they're going. It looks like technical college down here. So all you really have to Google is Mississippi high school, public school, high school graduation requirements, and it's going to come up. I use it. If you're new, I use it as a guide, not a rule. You tailor this to work for you. But the thing is if they're going to college or tech school, they've got to have something, and it needs to look similar to what everybody else's look. I mean, not exactly the same, but you need to be able to say it needs to look similar. So I actually like this one because it has different ones. I may actually keep a copy of this for when I talk to people, because it's not a bad, I mean, especially if you have extra stuff like traditional career district option, then early exit exam. I don't know what that means, but you know, that's not a bad thing, and we might look at that and see, because I've been wanting to build some kind of 5-year plan and an early year plan. Now, let's see, where am I? Let me stop share. So you use it as your guideline. Now, if you are not in Mississippi or Alabama, please check your laws and see what you've got, because just because it's easy in Alabama does not mean it's easy somewhere else. And I do not have experience everywhere in the U.S. I like having a plan, because if my children go to college, then I want the transcript to look similar to what everybody else has. I don't want red. What you don't is you don't want red flags. You don't want to have something. I mean, even if it's like U.S. history, but with this long weird name, just call it U.S. history. U.S. history 1, U.S. history 2. Don't call it something weird. Just call it something generic to put on the transcript. Let's see what else. Y'all throw a question in there, because I start rambling because I forget what I've said. Now, in Alabama, now, y'all know I'm in Mobile. I can tell you some things that we have that doesn't, you may or may not have it in your area, but that doesn't, you know, you look. We have the ability to go to a tech school if you're in Mobile County. It's free. Same thing is offered to public and private, and it's open to homeschoolers, so you can look for a tech school and see if they let homeschoolers come in. You can look, you know, early enrollment, dual enrollment. Those are options. I was trying to pull up Aaron's beautiful write-up, but I couldn't find it. I do that sometimes. So what you do is you go on. Most colleges will have a homeschool advisor. Look for the homeschool, especially now. I mean, it's like USA in Mobile has one. has one. Yeah. I mean, you can go in there and look for see if they have an advisor. If they don't have an advisor listed, then you go on and say, who has talked to the homeschooler? Then you're able to talk and see what to do. And then they have the early enrollment is awesome. has like the cheapest, just like $100 an hour. The first class is free. So, but that, you know, that's in Alabama. I'm not sure about Mississippi. Let's see. Let's see what else. Transcripts. I wish I could pull up. Let me show y'all. I'm going to show y'all Susan's site. So yeah, I'm telling you, I did Cole's transcript this week, and it took me. I know I keep saying it. I said it earlier, but it shocked me. I mean, I knew it was good, but I had not done it, and I went through it. And the only reason it took me 30 minutes is because luckily I had records. That's another thing. When you start high school, start your records for transcripts in 9th grade. it is sometimes hard to remember things. I had to go dig through stuff and get everything organized. And then I got on the transcript was 30 minutes. I didn't have to calculate anything. Usually I'm having to enter in a calculator and calculate the GPA. That was worth gold. I did not have to do it myself. So anyway, I'm going to show y'all Susan's site. Let's see. Let's see. Now I'm going to share it now. I had to go look it up. I know I look crazy when I don't. I highly, highly recommend that you can keep stuff yourself, but I highly recommend doing it because then you're not having. I have 17 years. I've homeschooled 17 years. This is the easiest system I've seen, and she supports you if you need help. Because I was having all sorts of issues. And it was user error with the Excel. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's the only reason it took so long. So I will definitely be buying Susan's stuff for my next 3. I have 3 more to go. I didn't do it with Cole and Juliana, but Gabriella starts high school this year. And so I've got 3 more to go. And I'm like, Susan, you can never retire and never get rid of your stuff because Elise is only kindergarten. Okay. So anyway. So what kind of things do you need when you are doing? I know I very much love. Her website is solutionpointlearning.com. Let me pull those up. Let's see. I'm gonna go down. This is the record keeping. Here's what it looks like. I need to. There. I'm not logged in, Susan. I'm not even. I would probably. Here's what you need: Excel or you. It's just, I'm just telling you, let's see. This is the record. This is what it looks like. And you just put everything in and it just puts it everywhere. Okay, I need to do I need to do a review. Susan usually does it. I need to do it and show y'all how easy it is. Because if I can do it, somebody else can do it. And I wasn't trying to turn this into a sales thing. It's just that I made a transcript this week and it was so easy. And people pay me to make transcripts and this is the easiest it's ever been. So I'm very impressed this week because I knew it was good, but it's another thing when you actually do it. Okay. I'm sorry, Susan, it took me so long. I was afraid of the transcript. Y'all think I'm crazy. So anyway, I don't want to spend all day on record keeping and stuff, but record keeping are good. The kind of things you need, keep track of the community service, keep track of what you do, what curriculum you use. I'm not talking about keeping the curriculum or keeping all the work. I'm talking about keeping the name written down so that you know. So when you go to make your, I suggest making your transcript starting in 9th grade, but it's like if you go back or they ask or there's a question, then you're able to pull the sheet and you know exactly what science you used for what year. So keeping good records is important, and not so much that you have to send them off somewhere. Usually they're not going to want them. But if there's a question, you can't always trust your memory. That's 4 years. And then if you're adding multiple kids in there, your memory may not be as good. Luckily, I kept good records with Cole. It was just very messy. I wasn't thinking he was going to go to college this week. They've already accepted him. We just got to take his stuff. That's Tuesday. But let's see. So I like to tailor the electives. I don't worry too much about that. We have PE. I require that they're involved in something physical. I like lifetime type stuff, like the girls are going to do couch to 5K. They don't want to run a 5K, but they're going to go through the training to run. They've done lifeguard training. They worked as a lifeguard at the Y. The training was put on their transcript. Piano. I do stuff like that. Really, when you get down to it, it is not hard to get those electives when you look outside, think outside the box and look around you. Juliana has Susan's computer class. It's all about Susan. I should have sent you a link and had you jump on is what I needed. Why didn't I think about that? But anyway, I think I'm at the end of the week and I'm a little wild. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Find a plan. You can go 5 years if you want to. You can go shorter if you want to. You just have that plan so you know kind of where you're going. You can do dual enrollment, like if upper, like the upper level classes. If you're like really nervous over math and science and history and stuff when they get upper levels, you can do dual or early enrollment. Some places it's dual enrollment, some places it's early enrollment. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Couch to 5K either. It almost killed me when it was popular a couple of years ago. But they're young and they're, tone and fit. And if they want to go to the running park that's right down my street and run, fine, have at it. I'll just walk. Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Susan. Anyway, so what's next? Okay, so keep good records. Keep on your transcript. With homeschool legal defense says to keep not everything. You're supposed to keep about, with high school, you need to keep all 4 years. You want the grades, you want the exams, keep those in a file folder. Keep samples of work like shows progression. That's something I do even with the little kids. I have to keep something from the beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year. Keep a sample so that it shows progression. But with high school, you keep the quizzes, keep the grades. Not forever, just until they graduate so that you know what they've done. Community service. I always try to get at least a couple of hours. My kids usually volunteer at the church. Cole was on the AV team. We use the training as a credit. We use the actual working in church as community service. The girls worked. They have done ASL. They would volunteer in the nursery. We had 2 children who needed it. So we put those on there. I'm reading Jennifer's post. Let's see. We're talking about Couch to 5K and how she said it almost killed her a couple of years ago. And
we're going to do it after class.
After that, yeah, right now they're doing a research paper class. And so you can think outside the box. I have a friend, she homeschools, she's a university teacher, and she's teaching them research papers. So somebody else did it besides me. So there's lots of things to do.
Next week is our last class.
Let's see. Secular volunteer opportunities. I would look at, I have to think for a minute. That's a harder one. I would look for a nonprofit, maybe. What is it called? Big Brother and Big Sister. Is that what it's called? Big Brother and Big Sister. Boys and Girls Club of America. You could do, yeah, Boys and Girls Club of America. Like a Big Sister, Big Brother program. The library would be a good one. I think you could volunteer at the library. That would be pretty cool. Hospitals usually have a Candy Stripe program. Let's see, what else? Ronald McDonald House usually has things that they need done. The Goodwill. Well, I can't remember. Easter Seals may have something because they have some training stuff. I think the sky's the limit. You could just about, call the Better Business Bureau. They might have something too that they could think of community service wise. Can you think of any more? Anybody else have good ideas? I would look at, I'm liking the idea of the library. That would be fun. But Big Sisters, Big Brothers, I think it's the Boys and Girls Club. I think that's who has that. Let's see. I have to think some more of that because that's a good question. Because I'm sure there's stuff. You just got to figure out where it is. Those are some. Yeah, I'll see what else I can come up with because I bet there's some more. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. That's what I was thinking. Like the Mobile Opera, the Mobile Ballet, Mobile who else? Mobile Opera, Ballet, the chamber music. I'm thinking they may have some volunteer things. I bet Erin would have some too locally. I bet she would have some ideas too. Let's see who else. Anyway, do your community service, get them involved. It's a good way. I like community service. Ooh, Family Promise is supposedly nonprofit. They will usually set up at churches because that's where they're like a homeless shelter for families. Cole volunteered there too. They set up in churches, but I don't believe that they're not exactly a Christian organization. I think it's nonprofit is what it is. So there's probably a couple of homeless shelters too. If you like that kind of stuff, I think we have quite a bit in Mobile, and I think it's useful. 4-H probably has some too. I'm trying to think. I like that subject though. I'm gonna come up with some more ideas. Where else? I'm going to post the link to Erin's article when I find it because she has the best write-up of, at least in Alabama, early enrollment opportunities. Bishop does have a program that goes through that we get for free. If you're in the area, you can let me know about if you're interested in that. That starts in 10th grade, and they get a certificate when they graduate, and it's like a $10,000 certificate. I'm like, usually you pay a lot of money for it, like welding and stuff like that. That is an opportunity. You can go to college and get some early enrollment. Oh, yeah, food banks. That's a good one too. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that would be fun. I miss my granny. Local senior citizen group. That's fun. I bet the hospitals like to have people rock the babies. I don't know how young they go or what their rules are, but that would be mine. I would like some snuggles. Let's see. What else do we need to cover? We talked about credits. We talked about think outside the box with credits. I like to go back to that because I like having interesting ideas out there and looking at stuff to see how to turn something they're passionate about into a credit. Something they're learning. I'm like, home repair, home ec could be, you could be refurbishing furniture, and that's a kind of part of home ec. Cooking, there's lots of stuff out there. Lots and lots of stuff you can do. What else can we talk about? I want to make a 5-year plan for someone who wants to go 5 years. Now, Juliana has gone 4 years. She finished her stuff in 3, could have graduated, but decided not to. So she's gone 4, but it almost feels like a 5 because I've had to invent something for her senior year. She's not going to sit around and do nothing because that's not good for any of us. So she's going to do a business intensive, but that's what I'm working on in August. But that's all my ideas, unless somebody jogs my memory. I did not take good notes today. Not at all. Because I can talk about high school. That's where I am. I'm using, okay, y'all know Story of the World. Some of y'all more veterans, y'all know Story of the World. They have a high school. She wrote a book for adults, and they have a high school guideline. And that is what we're using for 9th grade. And Juliana is even going to join in for it. So I'm seeing that she has 3 books. So I'm thinking we're going to go do those 3 books and then we'll do American history and government and economics in 12th grade. I was not a fan of the curriculum. I don't like getting into reviews on curriculum, but I ended up not being a fan of what they used with Cole and Juliana. And so I'm trying something new. Gabriella loves to read, and I think this is going to be right up her alley. And luckily, it was not expensive. It was $20 for a hardback book. And the guide was like $15, $20. So it wasn't expensive at all. And I've usually spent much, much higher on history. So I'm kind of excited. What do y'all got planned? What have y'all got planned for for high school. Y'all tell me about what ideas have y'all got? I mean, I told you the four cores, and you can be inventive with the four cores. It's like chemistry. We're going to try chemistry in the kitchen with Gabriella. It is by Guest Hollow, and it's lots of reading. The girl likes to read. I don't know if this is going to be biting off more than we chewed. I don't know. But it's a lot of baking and cooking and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to look at their other stuff for like biology. This year, she's got physical science, and Nick happened to bring one in that he found at the thrift store. And I'm like, that's fine. We'll use that this year. It was like completely new. Somebody just got rid of it. So Gabriella is going to do physical science. She's going to be finishing up. She's finishing up pre-algebra and going into algebra. So we're between there, starting. So she'll do that. Then she's got the grammar of poetry. It'll be called English 9 on her transcript. Yes, if it's hard to teach, check out the local co-op classes and check out the early enrollment. Those are two options. In Mobile, we have two. Yes, Jennifer is like the bomb. She is in OutSchool and she teaches great stuff. And I bet if we put a bug in her ear, she'd probably design some classes. I mean, I like outsourcing when they become teenagers because it's like it removes me as the middleman and they're not fighting me quite so much because they're dealing with another person. That's why I sent them to Catherine for research papers and essays. So that's Gabriella's pretty much got English 9 down pat, but I'm doing the grammar of poetry because she loves poetry, and we're going to do that, some study on that this year. Kind of go around the world since she's doing world history. What else? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing for math? I would love to be inventive on math. I found an article one time where the teacher was teaching pre-cal with knitting. And I really wish she would write more on this subject because it's so cool. You have government and economics coming up with your senior. This is the perfect year for it. It's worth it. I need to pull that up and see. You know who else I like for government and economics, Jennifer? Have you seen the Crash Course YouTube channel? We love that channel, and that's one that you could pull up. You use Matthew C. We did when the girls were young. Physics, I don't. We use teaching textbooks online. We just switched to that. We had Matthew C. when the girls were little, and then the year I had the baby, we went to Saxon, and we used virtual homeschool group with Saxon, and it was good until it wasn't. You know what I mean? What really happened is Juliana hit pre-cal and was having trouble, and we were not finding a way to figure out how to help her because that was like way beyond my math. I can go up to about pre-algebra and I feel comfortable. After that, I'm no longer comfortable. So then we switched to, we tried the free trial with teaching textbooks online, and she loved it because she was able to figure out what she was doing wrong. And then I let the little girl, I call them the little girls, but they're going into 9th grade and 7th grade this year. So then we went to teaching textbooks, and they all loved it. So we're going to stay with that. So we had a rough year with math. I made them start over in January. So they'll just pick up where they're going to pick up where they are, and they're going to just keep going forward until they're just going to keep going forward. Math is important. Then who is it? What else? Physical science, Juliana, see, she's finished everything. She's doing history this year, but she doesn't really have to. She's just decided to do it with Gabriella. And I'm like, okay, that works. Then let's see. I've got to work on, Gabriella has piano. That is an elective, but I've got to pick something else out. And it will probably end up being something like ASL probably. We have a teacher that we can do online. And that will probably just be part of her stuff. Brave Writer for writing. See, I want to buy a Brave Writer, but I'm afraid I probably will switch to it next year. This year I've got something for Gabriella. Next year I'll probably switch to Brave Writer with her. Jennifer's just about sold me on it. Um, High school, we did The Good and Beautiful with Juliana, and I love The Good and Beautiful for the younger years. I was not a fan of the high school because it's like you get it for the year. It's 10 units. They tell you how many days you need to do work, but they don't really have it broke down. And it was just a mess. We ended up taking 2 years to do it instead of one. It was a mess. It was not, you don't hand a ninth grader or a 10th grader these books and expect them to organize their own time. They're not ready. And when I looked at it, I thought I organized it good, but I did not. So I won't use it for high school again. I'm just not going to do that to my children. And in the process, I'd had a baby. Things were messed up. It was rough. So I was not on top of my game, and it was not what I needed to use. Although the younger levels are organized. They have, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, very clear to figure out what to do. So I was kind of disappointed in their organization. Hopefully they'll upgrade it and it'll get better, because they loved everything about it. She loved it. She loved the books they picked. She doesn't like things like that are like most teen literature pulls you up and takes you down and pulls you up. But she was not a fan. She's not a fan of that kind of stuff. She liked the even keeled, gentle type stuff. I have a feeling that's just her personality. Let's see, trying Schoolhouse Teachers. I've heard good things about them. I haven't ever used them, but I've heard good things about them. So let me know how it works. One day I need to just go buy a subscription or try it out just to see how it looks. Seven Sisters, I absolutely love. Cole did one of their surveys. I don't remember which one. I mean, it was writing. It had essays and all the different writing, research papers and all those different kind of things. And he went through it his senior year. So I like how simple they have it laid out. I haven't used, no, Essentials in Writing. I did use those for years. That's why we changed it, because they got burnt out. It was very similar to how Matthew C is set up. So it's a good one. We like that one. What about electives? Jennifer, what are you doing for electives? Susan, what are some of the things you did? I was very kind of traditional with Cole and Juliana, except thinking outside the box. Yes, Susan's computer course, Juliana and Gabriella loved it. So Susan's stuff is really, really good. I'm hoping you're going to have that leadership class. I know we talked about it before, because I definitely would like to put that on the girls' schedule. They love Miss Susan. They hear her voice when I'm talking to her and come in to look, okay? And they like her. They're cute girls. They pretty much handle anything I throw at them. Jennifer taught them this summer too. I had several things. We kind of had to change everything after COVID started, because they were it's like we were all crazy. So second semester, okay. Yeah, they'll be ready for something then. Let's see. So I'm going to post that article. I'm thinking psychology. Yeah, Cole had logic 1 year. Yes, you can up the hours for that. Definitely. And I would throw in maybe a book with some art history in there with whatever they're learning. But yes, totally. I think you can change it, put it into an art. I took an art class in college. Not college, in high school. I had for a whole year. I mean, you need about 140 to 180 hours. Totally an art class. In fact, that's a great idea. Gabriella would love that. That's a great idea. I actually bought the girl a very nice watercolor book for her to do a class on OutSchool. And she would not draw in it because she didn't want to mess it up. That's why I bought it. They would study a poet, and then they would have a poem, and then she was supposed to draw a watercolor with a poem. I'm like, girl, art books are made to mess up. So I've got to break her of that habit. But you could totally up the hours, and you can find so many things on YouTube. I'm like, if you wanted to find a class, I bet you could find stuff on there and just up the hours. Let's see. Art appreciation and history class. Yeah. Art appreciation is probably something I need to add in for Gabriella. She loves art. She loves reading. That's just the kind of girl she is. We're going to do a master gardener class. I took it a couple of years ago. It is like a college level class, and then she would have to volunteer. That's another thing, Jennifer. If you go through if you can go through the master gardener program and then you have to volunteer, that's community service. It's awesome class too. I'm like, if your son is interested in gardening, awesome class. And then you have to like work on the phone line, and then you have to work at the gardens, and they'll have several volunteer opportunities. That's a cool one. That's something else I'll do with Gabriella. She's the one that we've gone and done mushroom classes where we learned about mushrooms, and then we planted spores into logs, and we're just now starting to get mushrooms growing on the logs. And then we did a microgreens class and learned how to grow little greens. Susan, make sure you put your link in here. Yeah, I'm telling you that Susan's stuff is awesome. Jennifer's stuff is awesome. We have some really great mamas and professional home educator. We have the bomb. Anyway, so I've talked 40 minutes, people. I'm back at 8 to wrap this up, So I'm gonna go eat supper, and I will see y'all at 8 o'clock, and I will post some links. And if there's something else you need, if I forget to post it, remind me. But y'all remember, everything's here until Monday night, Tuesday morning, and I will see you soon. Bye.